team ban.
Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to your coverage of the Redbull ECL here on Beyond the Summit. I'm Baseskip. It's a pleasure to be joining all of you guys this evening for this best of 3. It's Titan up against Tongfu, and Tongfu are currently leading 1-0 in the bubble race, well, in the bubble race portion of this competition. So let's get ourselves underway, and I'd like to welcome back to the broadcast Winter. So Winter, how you doing?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm good, but Titan are not feeling good at all after that game.
Oh man,
Reserve time.
I really feel for Titan, and I guess I have to reveal myself as a little bit of a fanboy. Orange were my favorite team going into TI3, so to see the ex-Orange guys, playing like this at the moment is kind of heartbreaking. So we'll see if they can turn things around a little bit in this game. They are still yet to take a win in this competition.
He's a very talented player. There's nothing wrong with his pace, like his personal skill and mechanical skill. He just needs to sometimes killing buildings is not gonna win you the game. But obviously the main objective is to kill the buildings in the end. But you need to go through the bodyguards first at times.
There are some stepping stones in between.
Yeah, not every time it's like I'm going to go to this brick wall and just breach the base, but it's not going to work every time. And Titan's going to open with a similar playstyle, Enchantress first pick, early aggression, and they just need Miracle to switch up a little bit of his style where he can use his normal playstyle, like his item builds and selections, but he just needs to at least be able to join the fights.
Yeah, and it's not even that I don't think that his item selections need radical changes. They're just little things.
Playstyle and the playstyle, because I played with him before, I know the way he thinks in the game. And there was one time we were playing a tournament together, and we were like, hey, he was the Sven, and we just landed a like 3-man RP, and his Sven was like God Strength, hitting a Rex on the right hand side, and we were like, why? You could have just killed the whole team and just won the game. And he's like, I'm winning the game now, I'm hitting the Rex. Then we were like, no, we are all dying, dude. We are all dying here after the 3-man RP, and he could have just killed everyone and in the end still got the Rex. But instead he tried to get the Rex thinking the fight was lost after the RP.
So he's just on a slightly different page from the rest of the team.
Yeah, he's very unique, his mindset. Very, very unique, I would say. And on certain heroes, that mindset could actually be a huge difference when he plays those certain heroes like Naga, obviously.
Yeah, and I guess unfortunately for him, the pace of the game right now doesn't suit the style of play that he really likes. I mean, there are definitely some people that enjoy the longer, farmier games, but most of the recent changes to Dota.
5 seconds remaining.
I think that there's something to be said for how exciting teamfights used to be when everybody had a whole bunch of items and it all just really came down to play. But I definitely like current Dota a lot. I think 6.79 is the most fun version that I've cast.
I like
for sure.
I like it as well. To me, it's a lot of things are out of control now.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict every single thing that the enemy will do. Roshan timing has been random, and sometimes smoke ganks is so powerful right now, since you can't really predict and you can't really do anything to counter it apart from being ready before the smoke gang comes. So I would say it brings a lot of uncertainty towards the game, where before the game was really I can't really get the word for it. The game was really like everything was textbook game, and everything was like to the point of the textbook everything was going right, and it will just come down to the execution in the end of both teams and the item selection of both teams to decide who will win. But the game is far different right now.
Yeah, if you look at the drafting meta that we went into with TI2, I guess for example, there was pretty much an optimal way to draft. Like we were getting to the point where you could say they did this, so the enemy team is going to do this, and then because this team did this, the other team's going to do this, and they'd kind of worked out what the right strategy was. But you can't say that at all for 6.79. And I guess the other thing to say, Winter, is that if you're a support player, this is an amazing patch for you.
Yeah, this is a very good patch for the supports making big plays and making necessary impact in the game to just single-handedly, maybe not single-handedly, but have a very huge deciding factor towards the result of the game.
Yeah, you don't just have to hold your carry's hand anymore and stack camps for him. It's a lot more. You're moving around the map. You're setting up kills. You tell your carry, look, you handle yourself. I'm gonna go kill that guy over there because I'm the most powerful hero on the map for the first 8 minutes or so.
It feels like the defenders are the scorers, the strikers as well now for Dota.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a great patch. But I think we've ranted on about that enough. So Titan, pretty familiar start to this draft. It's the Enchantress Dragon Knight, Winter. We've seen this quite a bit over the course of the last couple of days. You talked about how a meta can develop within an event, and we are kind of seeing that right now.
Yeah, the Dragon Knight and Enchantress is just, for me, very, very hard to guess what the enemy is going to open up with the next 2 picks, the third and fourth pick. And it also has a lot of utility-based playstyle. You can either choose to group up with the Dragon Knight, or you can use the Dragon Knight just as a core, and you can go for triple core with the Dragon Knight. Or you can even, like some cases, we see the Dragon Knight as a safe lane because you want to have a different solo mid hero, and Dragon Knight versus the enemy hero was a huge disadvantage, and you could also switch the Dragon Knight towards the safe lane. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with the Dragon Knight pick this early.
Okay, so this might sound a little bit crazy, Winter, but is there any way do you think Titan could shuffle their players to put Miracle on a Wisp, and then we could have some Miracle Wisp Dota? Don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's not going to happen. It would take too much movement.
It's not gonna happen unless there's a lifestealer in the game, because Net does play lifestealer sometimes.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for it. Though it has been banned, so
it's gone.
Oh well.
So
there we go. That idea is off the table. Okay, so Titan, pretty standard start from them. Enchantress Dragon Knight, they've banned out the Bristleback and the Venomancer. Naga Siren's going to be removed by Tongfu. It was actually in Titan versus IG yesterday, the final game. IG, they saw Extinct was drafting, they let the Naga Siren through the whole time, and then Extinct banned the Naga Siren last. He was like, look, no, it's not happening. I'm not picking the Naga Siren. So maybe Tongfu could have let that through, but again, Titan would like their first win of the tournament at this point, I think. So they'll do anything necessary.
They're gonna do. They don't care. They just want to win a game. That's it. And the Doom is gonna be picked up once more against the Dragon Knight. Like, the primary reason I felt you made a really good point yesterday, because Dragon Knight has 2 very spammable spells. Even though he's a tank, and dropping a Doom on a tank seems like, why would you use your ultimate on a hero that's so tanky? But because Dragon Knight has 2 spells that has such a low cooldown, if you let him drop 2 Dragon Tails or 3 Dragon Tails in a fight, he's gonna mean that he's gonna kill 3 heroes because of the duration of the stun and the spammability of his Breathe Fire as well. So dropping the Doom on the Dragon Knight, although it doesn't generally kill him, but it makes sure that his limitations in a fight are gonna be a lot less contribution from the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice way as well to protect you from anything that Titan go for from this point. So if Miracle's hero is an Invoker, Doom's ready. If Miracle's hero is a Morphling, Doom's ready. It doesn't matter what it is, Doom is pretty much your universal counter. So we'll see what Titan can do.
Like what LD always says, Doom is the counter to everyone.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with LD on that point. So
is there anything that Doom doesn't counter?
For a while it didn't disable Feast, I think. I don't know if it does now. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, it does. It does now. It does now.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So he was. It wasn't great 1v1 against Lifestealer in that sense, but yeah, I think Doom is. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head where Doom isn't that great. Maybe something like Lone Druid. I mean, I guess you can Doom the bear and then. Man.
I mean, Doom the Spirit Bear and it doesn't entangle.
Yeah, this is becoming a very silly conversation. Okay, so Tongfu, get rid of some split push heroes, get rid of the Clinks, they get rid of the Nature's Prophet. Titan are gonna end up taking the Timbersaw, so pretty beefy multi-core lineup so far.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a good way to deal with the Doom. You have so many targets that he has to Doom, so you can't Doom everybody.
Yeah, you have to make a choice, and if Titan if they have one hero that falls behind a little bit in terms of farm, then you can throw that guy in first to eat the Doom, and then the heroes that actually have some items can make their way in a little bit later. So nice pickups for Titan, and this is also going to. I like the Dragonite and the Timbersaw as well, especially for. Well, I guess we can't move towards Invoker for Titan because there's the Pugna. I was about to say that it's nice to have because if they're going to pick up someone a bit glass cannony, they can sit on the back lines. The Dragonite and the Timbersaw can make the space, and you can still get some damage dealt. But I don't know.
I think maybe it's still an option. It's still not that bad though. Invoker versus like the Pugna this game, he can just build a BKB or the Fort Spirits can be used to just deal with the Nether Wart, but it's not the best option. But it could still be an option for Titan if they want to do it.
Yeah, if they feel that they need to still get something that Miracle is fairly comfortable with, and they don't want to pick him pick him as Morphling or anything like that.
I'm thinking if they want to use the triple core lineup and they go for something like a Morphling or a farm intensive hero, it could be too greedy.
And they'll just get pushed down by the Pugna.
Yeah, they can't. I don't think they should do that. It could be very risky because like the Pugna is gonna destroy your whole map control. And what is your super carry gonna do? It can't farm anywhere against the Doom.
Yeah, the Doom is just going to be way too much of a threat. And Titan, you look at their lineup and you think, okay, they've got some pretty good ways to defend towers. We've got Chakram, Breathe Fire, Fade Bolt, a lot of spam, but we've talked about this in the past. Pugna doesn't care about how much spam you have. He just walks up, drops a blast, walks away. Wow. He's just fine. And I guess Tongfu are definitely anticipating something like the Invoker or the Morphling here.
How did that hero still... It was like every single game it's banned.
Yeah.
The last game it came out as well, and this game it was picked in the last section. Oh boy.
Yeah, and I think a really nice pickup for Tongfu as well.
Yeah, it is. It's a very strong pickup, and it provides them not only that catching power, that ganking power, it also provides them with a sense of security if the game goes longer, since they have the Storm and the Doom, and Pugna doesn't really scale super well in the late game. But having the Storm now, it's a little bit of a safety. Well, this is the first time I've been talking about like Lycan by Miracle for a few times already with 1437. I was thinking, will they bring this out this game? Nah, not this game, not this game. And finally, we are able to see the Lycan.
Okay, so this time it's not looking like split push Dota. This is looking like fast push Dota from both sides, kind of. Or does he still rat?
I think it's still a rat because I've seen his Lycan before, and he's just gonna buy BTs and his wolves will be running around the map invis, and he suddenly Boots of Travels in and just takes your base.
So you're telling me that the noble wolf will become the rat this game?
He's just gonna be a big bad rat this game, not a big bad wolf.
Well, we'll see if Miracle can shake off his old ways.
I have seen this before. No, this is definitely something he likes to play similarly to his Morphling and Naga.
5 seconds remaining.
So he's not one to buy a Vlad's and a BKB and.
No, he will have the Vlads, but
maybe not the BKB. Okay.
Yeah. He could still end up getting the BKB to make sure his rat adventures are safe because of the BKB, but the enemy has like Doom, so maybe he's just gonna skip the BKB in total. There's gonna be so many rat exterminators, the big Buck and the Storm.
Miracle giving a shout out to some of his friends in SEA. He's making some bold claims, saying that he is going to win this. We are going to win this. It's not just Miracle. There's the we. It implies that Titan as a team, for maybe the first time in this tournament, will win a game together. Winter, this game is dedicated to you, buddy.
No, why? They just have to win the game for themselves. Why me?
No, Winter, you have to accept it. Be gracious. Anyway, so let's introduce the game. We'll level 1 team fight first, then we can go on. There we go. Good job, Winter. Just hope Alvin doesn't watch the VODs. Okay, so it looks like this level 1 engagement not gonna happen. Titan quite content to just waddle away. So guys, this is the Redbull ECL. This is game 2 of our first match of the playoff portion of this competition, and it's a best of 3, and Tongfu are currently leading 1-0. So very quickly over on the Tongfu side, we've got Kabu on the Nyx Assassin, DedaSimJ on the Doom, Mu is going to be on the Storm Spirit, Sansheng on the Visage, and Zhou is going to be on the Pugna, and I'll leave it to Winter to handle Titan.
Yeah, and to my Southeast Asian friends, we have Ohio, on the Timbersaw. Seems like he actually wanted to go to the safe lane, but he's moving around now. Miracle will be on the Lycan, Net will be handling the Rubik, and ky.xy will be on the Dragon Knight. And lastly, we have the Drafter at the moment, Enchantress handled by Xing.
Yep. So, bit of shuffling going on as far as the lanes are concerned.
They were actually expecting a tri-lane from Tongfu, so they sent the Lycan to its bottom, but the wards maybe spotting out that this ward here on the river spotted that the supports were not there, so they immediately rotated to top lane. They just wanted to avoid the tri-lane.
And this ward from the Radiant seemingly did not block the camp. Gives them a little bit of vision.
Does it even see anything?
It sees the river, but it doesn't see anything up the hill, aside from a very narrow band kind of up here.
What? I'm trying to get the hotkeys.
Okay, it should be F2.
Okay. Oh yeah, it doesn't see much.
No, not a whole lot. So I think the plan was for that ward to block the camp, but it looks like not going to end up working. So what have we got going on so far? It's going to be Dragon Knight versus Storm Spirit mid. Should both be able to get their farm. Over on bottom lane, Sunshine going to start off harassing Ohio just over in lane, but again, off lane's pretty safe these days. Should hopefully be alright. The Nyx Assassin is actually going to be the one running the pulls. The Visage would like to be running pulls and getting experience, but he's the only ranged support, so it's actually going to end up being the Nyx Assassin getting the slightly better start. And I guess worth pointing out again that Kabu is going to be supporting, and ZSMJ is going to be in the 3 position as the offlane Doom.
Seems like it's going to be a permanent change after all. I remember there was one game actually Kabu played the Doom, but with ZSMJ playing the Doom as well, it might mean that the role change is permanent.
It's interesting because I thought that SMJ was really coming into his own as a support player, and he was really starting to impress.
They have to solve the problems that Kabu have because he doesn't play every single offlane hero.
Not all the viable ones at the moment, and the pool of viable offlaners at the moment is pretty much everyone. Offlane's really safe. You can put a lot of different stuff there.
I don't think there's
not everyone.
Classification for offlane heroes anymore because like it feels like anyone can go there. It's just the offlane with some hero to take level there.
Yes, some guy is there soaking experience. So we do have okay, ky.xy reaches level 4. He's going to take the opportunity to put a point up in the Dragon Tail, runs at Mu, the Centaur's coming in, they get the stomp down, beautiful coordination from Titan, they get the slow, couple more right clicks, should be able to bring down Mu, going to try and do some damage to ky.xy before he dies, but that's your first blood, and nice little move from Extinct to start things off.
There was very good coordination, and the timing of it was impeccable as well. Waiting for the Dragon Knight to almost reach level 4 so he can have his 1 point in Dragon Tail to initiate on the Storm, and the Centaur would be just running in after that. That was just a very good execution for that Yank, nevertheless.
Yeah, and Ohio's actually staying very safe on the offlane. I guess it's worth pointing out that neither offlane have all that much information as to what the supports are doing. So
Doom is level 4 though. That's a huge difference between the Doom and the Timbersaw. Timbersaw has just hit level 3.
This is where the fact that Rubik isn't that scary as a zoning support comes into play.
It's not only that. Lycan is just not gonna do anything.
Yeah, Lycan's not all that ferocious right now either.
And I don't know if you noticed, like some of the Lycan players actually get Howl at early levels for just 1 point so that you can help your team. At level 1 it gives a lot of damage, 20 bonus damage, and it's global, so you can actually be useful to your team in a certain sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it if the Enchantress and the Rubik were maybe going to be roaming around, but we're talking about melee heroes in both of the other lanes, so I don't know how much it helps someone like ky.xy last hit mid when he's just spamming Breathe Fire nonstop anyway. That would be my take.
But it's gonna be helpful when you smoke gang. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah,
definitely. So if we do see a smoke picked up from Net and Extinct, hopefully we'll see that casual point in house. So SMJ gonna eat some damage here, has some stick charges, is gonna be able to get into the Scorched Earth and be just fine. And meanwhile, bottom lane Tongfu are back behind the tower, looking to take this tier 1. They've got a Bassi picked up for Joe, he's already got Arcane Boots up as well. Ohio, nice Carapace from Kabu. Cancels the Timber Chain.
That was a very good play from Kabu there. Stopping the Timber Chain, otherwise they wouldn't have gotten the kill there. Very good play.
Yeah, very nicely done. They used what seemed like their only stun with the Impale, so Ohio's like, yep, I'm fine, away I go. And does end up being stopped. And Tier 1 tower also gonna fall, so the Pugna plan well underway right now for Tongfu.
Yeah, it was the other day where we talked about their partner plan not working. After 20 or 30 minutes, they only get like 1 tower or something like that. This game, they will be hoping that the partner plan will be getting them a lot of towers right now. They're gonna try and defend the Tier 1 at top, sending both the supports towards the top lane to assist the Doom.
Yeah, stun goes out. Miracle, kinda low on mana, is gonna need a Grave Chill as well. Looks like he should be just fine, but Tongfu buy themselves some more space. ky.xy is actually going to come up to join this push, so Titan committing quite a bit early on, though this does give a chance for Mood to throw some pretty measly right clicks down on the Tier 1 mid.
He's not going to do too much. I think the Dragon Knight will be able to just use this time to take the Tier 1 to assist his team, and the Storm doesn't have a teleport scroll, so this is a Tier 1 gone for Tongfu.
Miracle going to be able to pick up the last hit, already 1600 gold up in the bank for him. If Titan would like to go for a very early Roshan, they could. Middle lane.
He just TP'd into 2 heroes, maybe. Nah, he's still tanky. The Storm doesn't have the best condition to try and jump the Dragon Knight. Gotta spot a regen rune for the Storm here. Well, this is gonna be a crucial time for him to have a regeneration rune to see whether he's gonna be able to find any pickoffs or force any fights that are very favorable for Tongfu.
Unfortunately, they don't have a whole lot of information from their wards. This one over in the jungle basically says the Enchantress isn't here, but that's the only person that you would expect to be anywhere close. So, won't be. It looks like maybe not going to be able to get a gank down. Mu is going to start wandering the map a bit, but I think this is just Storm Spirit's going to jungle so that they can get level 6 up on the Visage and be ready to start moving pretty soon.
Yeah, this is going to be a time where it's going to be very dangerous for Titan to try and farm anyone alone in the maps. The Storm is going to be a very huge threat, and not to mention ZSMJ has his Doom as well. So the Lycan, if he gets caught, there's always a chance that he will still die. Even a Lycan doesn't feel safe with his ultimate. So what about the other supports? They're not going to feel safe at all.
Yeah, Mu actually dropped pretty low while jungling there. Was just hanging onto the regen. Ohio spots him for a second, but he's only level 5.
He might die here though.
Roll comes in, Mu's back at full mana courtesy of that regener, and the stun goes out. Kabu, Timber Chain's gonna go backwards, but Joe runs in, blocks the escape, and Kabu is gonna end up picking up the kill.
Middle lane as well. Mu still has that regen rune.
Whoa, not a single point of damage dealt to him from Ohio in that last little bit, and ky.xy. He should have spotted the Storm Spirit. I think he walked close enough to that catapult to have been seen, but there's still a TP coming in from Kabu. He's got his Arcane Boots. They can line up a stun, or just get the zip in. Should be able to get this one.
If he takes this last hit, he's dead. If he takes the melee creep with his right click, or not the Brave Fire.
No, ky.xy is way too suspicious, and there's actually an 8-minute rune just about to spawn, so instead he's going to be focusing on that, and that's actually going to end up saving his life. No, maybe not. Mu rolls in, they drag him down from the high ground, stun's going to go out. Will he be able to pop this haste? He's got 15 stick charges as well, gets the dragon form off. Mu, the one to be Dragon Tail, but he's still got some mana left. Looks like he should be just fine. Isn't going to end up being a kill.
Yeah, they needed like one more disable, like the Doom perhaps, to get in range, but they just had to jump on that opportunity because ky.xy was going to go back to the safety of his tower. So other than that chance, I don't think they would have another chance to go on him. So they had to just try. It was just overall a nice try to. If they got lucky, they would have gotten a kill, and if it didn't work out, so they just have to back off. Nothing lost.
Yeah, and Titan actually just walks straight up the cliff, pop a smoke. Wow. They're making their way down. Can they do enough to move? They need to chain their disable perfectly. He is going to be able to zip away. He reveals the smoke. And luckily it wasn't the Rubik leading that gank, or even the Dragon Knight. It was the Enchantress. So I think if either of the other two heroes had been at the front, would have been able to get that kill.
Yeah, they needed the lift or either the Dragon Tail to start off, and Miracle is going to do Roshan soon. He picked up a medallion already. He's going to do Roshan. Maybe in the next minute.
Medallion and Vlad's smoke.
He got a smoke as well. Yeah,
Roshan. This is Roshan for sure. So, I think it's good for Titan, especially if they can have some other heroes around. Maybe split up a little bit of that experience. Speaking of experience, ZSMJ has actually picked up a Midas as his offlane Doom. So it looks like Tongfu are going to give him some space to grab some farm.
This is actually the first time I've seen Chinese teams. I was talking about to it like LDA. I'm not very sure why. Sometimes they actually had a good chance for their Doom to pick up the Midas, but they always, even if they run the Doom as like the position 1, LGD, CL2G plays the Doom, he doesn't ever build a Midas. He doesn't ever.
No, I guess this game they've got the mech on the Pugna, and the Pugna does actually kind of want the mech for some extra survivability, so we'll see what ZSMJ is going to end up building into. The one nice thing about the mech is that it's kind of a, in one item, a way to fix the Doom's armor problems, so ZSMJ is going to have to find something else to deal with that. Maybe he'll just go grab an Ice Ogre a little bit later on.
Yeah, but the Midas would definitely make sure that the Doom is going to be viable later. He's going to be very powerful after another 10 minutes of farm. So that's going to be a key factor for Tongfu. So other than the Storm being strong, the Doom can also be strong at the same time. And they don't really need to fight now since, oh, there's going to be Kabu finding a pick-off.
Vendetta was just about to fade, so I guess he pops out on Ohio. A little bit of faking goes out on the Impale, but not going to be anything to worry about. Meanwhile, Miracle in the pit.
He was hunting with Feminist, so Miracle is going to use this time, like you mentioned, going for the Roshan, and Tongfu are not suspicious at all. You don't play against Lycan all the time, so it's one of those small little things you forget.
Yeah, similar to playing against an Ursa, it's just like, oh damn, forgot to keep checks on Rosh at all times. And Roshan's down, Tongfu, well, gonna write down the time and just keep on moving. Tier 1 top is their next target, and Titan not looking like they're actually ready to fight for this one. Might just try and get a bit of a trade.
Yeah, I don't think they're in position, like you said, to fight this. They're gonna give it for free, so hopefully Titan... And Titan doesn't even seem like they're in position to get any return towers as well. All the lanes have very pushed out, and Dragonite is not in any position to try and deal damage to any of the towers. And here comes Kabu again, trying to get a pick off. It's gonna be... Oh, he just missed
I think he missed net, yeah, they both just passed one another by.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Probably could have killed him alone. Probably could have. I think he could have. Maybe.
Rubik's not particularly tanky. We might still see the opportunity. Vendetta's can end up fading. Net walking around. If he throws the steal right now, he might get Vendetta and be able to scoot away, but no, gets stunned up. He's been impaled. Tries to turn around and throw a spell, but just gets brought down by the ward. Ohio gets one kill down, but it's a double kill for Zhou. Kabu on the run. He's used his Carapace Miracle. He used his ultimate over at Roshan. Doesn't have it up for now. Kabu being healed. The SMJ also running back. And Titan, after buying back on the Timbersaw, will only be able to get the one kill out of that fight.
Yeah, that's like the strength of the Tongfu lineup now. The Pugna, the Doom, and the Visage. This is the time of their prime in the game. 10 minutes almost to 20 minutes. They are very strong right now, and Titan are not necessarily as strong as them. They still need some farm on the other cores to be able to take a proper fight. And even with the Aegis, the Lycan teleported in, but like you said, didn't have the ultimate. He used it at the Roche pit, so wasn't able to capitalize with that. He's gonna have his red item right now. The Necrobook is gonna be completed.
Yeah, but it's not even like Titan successfully defended their tower. The tier 2 took a lot of damage, and Tongfu will probably be able to swing back up here and grab that in short order. So I think things are looking just fine for Tongfu in terms of gold. They're leading by a little bit. Their Titan are up a bit in experience, I think largely because of the Roshan. But again, it feels really similar to last game, where they have an experience lead, but it's because Miracle is just a much higher level than anybody else on his team. He's level 11, the next closest is ky.xy and the Dragon Knight at 9.
He's gonna be... I don't think if Miracle alone is bad is enough. They need the cause, especially... I would say the Timbersaw is very important to have a lot of farm too. If the Timbersaw doesn't have farm, he doesn't contribute in a fight, and against a Pugna Netherward, when your Timbersaw is not farm, you're not going to be able to do much in a fight.
Yeah, this is where Ohio would really love to be able to farm up a BKB as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He needs a BKB for sure this game. Even if you think about like, he's still going to get Doom. Why get a BKB? But without the BKB, the ward alone is going to wreck him.
Yeah, and Titan tried to threaten mid lane a little bit to make some space for Miracle to split push over on top lane. There's going to be a zip in on ky.xy bot. He's right underneath his tier 2, gets the Dragon Tail out onto Mu. Only one of the familiar stuns are going to end up catching him. Net steal on the mana burn. Mu still plenty of mana left to run here, and he's going to be able to dodge out of the way of the Chakram as well. So that's that. Zhou is actually the one doing a little bit of split pushing right now, throwing out some blasts over at mid. And looks like ZSMJ is going to be able to successfully repel Miracle as he TPs down towards bot.
Well, ky.xy is going to get spotted by Shangsheng here. Shangsheng is invis. Might go for him. I think
Kabu
go for him.
comes in. He's being focused by the Necrobook and by the Wolves right now. Miracle, a little bit of body blocking going on in the ult. Moo gonna keep on trying to fight. He's zipped, but he's now gonna be dragon-tailed. Few right clicks from Titan bring him down. Miracle still just kind of standing in place. Would really like to get these familiars. Can he get either of them? No.
Not
and
even one.
And Kabu dies over at the side. Ohio manages to bring him down.
Yeah, Kabu survived on a drop of hit points, but he managed to earn up. But I think the Timbersaw still had enough damage. I thought he would have survived. So the Timbersaw is going to actually build into a mech for his team. Wow. Not going to continue to get a BKB or anything.
Yeah, and Extinct actually opts for Arcanes, interestingly enough. They've already got 2 pairs between the Timbersaw and the Rubik.
Yeah.
I guess they just want more against the Nether Ward.
I would rather be a little bit more tanky though, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. So, well, we'll see. He's doing okay in terms of farm. I guess if the Rubik from this point forward takes on all the warding duties, he will still be able to snag some items, but he's still very squishy for the time being.
I don't think Arcane Boost is good on Enchantress at all, because she needs the hit points and doesn't really need the mana pool
Early on, especially.
Yeah, to be able to throw all the impetus. She needs to be able to survive the fight so that she can throw her spears.
Yeah, okay, so Tongfu, they leave ZSMJ at the front right now. The cure for that armor problem is just going to be a straight up plate mail. Looks like he's going for a bit of an aura stack build here. Tongfu, is there any clue whatsoever that this smoke ink is also leading the way? Titan throwing out some pings. Is anyone being caught?
Wow.
Miracle. Centaur Stomp is actually going to hit right on top of Kabu there.
Did he actually? Oh, there was a sentry there. Okay, maybe he knew.
Now Kabu actually almost going to end up dying just to the summons. Yeah. Lots of damage going out. Familiars coming in as well. They're trying to fight around the ward. Miracle focusing over onto ZSMJ. He does still have this Aegis up. Sancheng is going to drop to the breeze fire. ky.xy is now being doomed. ZSMJ keeps on charging in net. Stomped up. I think that was a 3-man stomp from ZSMJ. Miracle trying to escape. He doesn't have the ultimate anymore. Buyback from the Storm Spirit. Ohio sitting down on the low ground. They've managed to catch out Extinct on the backlines. He's almost brought down by 1 blast. And another zap from ZSMJ finishes him. So he does manage to make the space for Miracle to retreat after respawning.
So they lost 22 supports.
Aegis and the 2 supports. Buyback
and
from Moo and
Storm?
They got the Visage. So 2 for 2, buyback, Aegis.
Hard to see who came out on top though, but maybe it's a draw because Aegis for buyback seems even to me. Do they know Miracle is here? Oh, they know. There's a ward there. Oh, dude. He is dead. He is dead.
Yeah, Moo's just waiting for him down on the low ground. They're going to drag him back. The familiars come in. The stun goes out. A little bit of stun stacking going on. Doesn't matter in the slightest. Still a very straightforward kill for Tongfu. And with that, they're going to look to pick up probably 2 tier 2 towers. This mid tier 2 is going to survive 2 blasts. Same story for the top tier 2. ZSMJ, no fear whatsoever, charges in with the Scorched Earth. And Titan forced to retreat.
This is a very classic example of with knowledge comes power. If you know the position of the enemies and you have intel on their positions, you're just going to be able to use that to control the next outcome of the game. That's such a good ward to spot out if the Lycan is just farming either near the Roche pit, waiting for the Roshan, or just farming Ancients. That was just a really good placement of the ward, giving them that necessary info to make that pick off.
Yeah, and realizing what's going on, Extinct's going to come in, is going to be able to get a D-ward down. But if you look at it from the perspective of Tongfu, it's, like you said, a very smart ward to play. So you think, okay, the Lycan's probably not going to be farming the leftmost camps in his jungle, because they're a little bit dangerous. He doesn't have a tier 1 there. So he's likely alternating between the 2 camps that are kind of safe and the Ancients. And they spot him at the Ancients, they pick up that kill, gets them at tier 2, and Tongfu with that will actually swing back to holding the experience lead as well.
And basically, this is where the point of the game. Now it's 19 minutes. 9 minutes has passed since the Midas has purchased by Doom, and it's already paying off. Look at the net worth. ZSMJ is the most net worth in the whole game right now.
Yeah, and I really like the way that Tongfu played this. They said, look, we know that the Pugna is going to be very active, the Storm Spirit's going to back him up. ZSMJ, you just farm. You buy a Midas, you go hit creeps. We're going to go hit towers, we're going to get you some extra gold, and because of all of that, he is now, like you said, the most farmed tier in the game. He's picked up a Shiva's Guard, so it's actually fairly difficult to bring down at this point, and...
Yeah, he is very hard to take down. You look at the damage from Titan, apart from the Timbersaw, everyone else does, like the Lycan and the Dragon Knight does a lot of right click.
Kabu runs in on top of a sentry. This ward got dewarded earlier, so it looks like a bit of a slip up from him. He's going to be able to get a 2-man impale down. Sansheng coming in, he's got the bird drops, connects one of the stuns onto 2, but no follow-up from Tongfu.
Maybe they... Yeah, I think they were just too far. I thought they might have gone in because Kabu had such a great initiation. 2-man impale.
Joe, he's been found up by Miracle Bot, but that is going to be the Lycan ultimate popped. Once this fades, Tongfu I think can definitely force a fight, either just by pushing straight down bottom lane.
Roshan, I think.
Yeah, actually just going to head straight to Roshan.
Roshan should be the best option to force a fight by Titan with the Lycan ultimate down. There's going to be a ward there, giving them info again on the whereabouts of the enemy heroes.
This sentry ward. This sentry ward has dewarded 2 wards and stopped a gank. So
MVP.
Props to this guy, yeah. Okay, so Tongfu still actually not feeling confident enough to sit around in the pit. They're going to head over and try and force Titan into an even more awkward position by pushing down their middle lane. And we'll see what Titan can do. Miracle is actually just down on bot, hitting some creeps. Should probably be pushing this as actively as he can. If he can force some TPs back, he can get Titan back into an even position instead of being in this defensive one that they're currently in. And more dewarding going on.
He just saw the Tongfu team, so he only now knows that it's actually safe on the push. But since like the storm, the problem is he doesn't see the storm on the map. If he doesn't see the storm on the map, it's difficult for him to go out. He just spotted the storm, so he's gonna go out right now. The storm has been spotted by the ward there.
Yeah, he moves out. Tongfu moved back to the pit. A little bit of damage dealt to mid, but ky.xy is gonna handle that. Pushes it out, and it looks like Titan are going to end up being the ones that win in this battle for position over Roshan.
Look at the wards. They just have the perfect wards to win the battle of positions. Look at those 2 wards. They see everything.
Titan know exactly what's going on. Perfect split pushing wards.
The wolves as well. The spy.
Spy among the enemy ranks. And Kabu unknowingly dragging them along with him. But okay, so Titan... They're going to send Ohio to top lane to pressure, so now they've got 2 lanes worth of pressure going down. So they're just going to try and get Tongfu to leave the area around the pit so they can just send Miracle in to pick that up. Tongfu is still unwilling to leave for now, but once these 2 lanes get pushed in, I don't think they're going to have much of a choice. They do have a tier 1 mid, so even if they walk to the lanes and deal with them, I guess they can still TP in if they think that Roshan is happening, but they're still kind of milling around for the time being.
They are just worried sometimes if they know, but the Lycan will be able to already bring it down because they're going to be able to take it down very quickly. They're just very worried about that. So they are not going to take any chances, constantly staying near the Rosh pit and trying to see if the Lycan is just going to do a sneaky Roshan. Maybe they're going to leave the familiars there for some time.
Yeah, they put the familiars in the pit. They've actually picked up a gem as well. It was purchased by Kabu. So all of those wards that provided that amazing vision for Miracle earlier are going to end up fading and being dewarded. Looks like it's just going to be a tower trade here. Tongfu picking up the tier 2 down on the bot.
High ground?
I think they will. Just going to force Titan back. Miracle stays middle lane. He's popped his Necrobook over here as well, but that was for the tier 1. It's about to fade. Tier 3 taking damage over at the Titan base. The glyph has already been used. Is there a Radiant glyph available? No, it's also been used. Net's going to be dragged back. Moon not in too much trouble. Stays safe. Timberchain not going to end up landing to this MJ. Gets stunned up. Pops his Shivas and is going to be forced staffed back to safety by Zhou. Another Timberchain comes out. ky.xy ends up eating the Doom. Miracle, however, his team bought him enough time to bring down the tier 2. And they will be able to drive Tongfu back.
Yeah, this was actually a very good trade for Titan. They lost just a Rubik, and Doom was used on the Dragon Knight, and Miracle took 2 towers.
Yeah, they did buy back on the Rubik, but just a support, not a huge deal for them.
Just a support. Oh no, Samsung in trouble here. No Ghost Scepter, he has the gem. Valuable item on his hands.
Oh, how much mana does Mu have? Is he going to be able to roll in and maybe grab this? He heads into the trees. Mu rolls in, but the creeps have blocked him. He's very low. He rolls in trying to snatch the gem, but it's still sitting there, and he's got nothing left in the tank. He's going to be able to bottle up a little bit. Zhou also really wanted that gem. Kabu also ends up paying with his life, running into the backside of that fight, and that's huge for Titan.
Yeah, this is what the Miracle playstyle will bring to you. The teams are enemy teams are split up, so when it's successful, it's gonna be very devastating for the enemy.
Yeah, it turns out that nobody on Titan actually clicked on Sansheng as he was running around there, because the gem is still just sitting here. So,
Wow.
Sean has fallen
I
into the dark.
I thought they knew.
I thought they knew as well. And Tongfu definitely thought that they knew because they threw 2 heroes at trying to recover the gem, but it turns out it's still just sitting here.
It was like, why would the storm just zip in? It's hard to tell though. It's hard to say.
Maybe he thinks he could have saved
Could have saved the Visage. Yeah, probably.
Okay, so that's 2 big pickups for Titan. Not as big as it could have been with the gem, obviously,
3.
but they still get the Roshan as well.
Yeah, it's actually 3 big pickups if you count. Yeah, you count the Roshan. So.
Okay, so with that, Miracle is going to take the lead in terms of net worth. Do you think he's just going to go for an AC now? More rat power?
Yeah, I think AC, and even after AC, Manta.
Yeah, and looks like it is going to be him working on the AC. ky.xy is going to be heading towards probably a Heaven's Halberd right now.
Wow,
no, actually a BKB.
Yeah, I was
Miracle.
saying that he might even go for a BKB just to make sure he doesn't die.
So you don't think this is going to be team fight? This is going to be the big bad rat continues.
It maybe can still be a team fight item since the Doom would most likely be casted on the Dragonite, and your BKB would mean you're invincible.
Yeah, can charge straight in, run at the supports, run at really whoever you want. And ZSMJ actually goes back for a slightly more supporty build, is actually going to end up picking up a Blink Dagger to try and make more use of the Hoof Stomp. Mu suspects that something weird is happening. He is going to end up rolling away into the trees as Titan tries and smoke 4 down towards him. And they suspected that the smoke gank was happening, and looks like they know that Miracle might be alone mid. But no, he's in a pretty defensive position.
The ward actually spotted them out. Oh, they recovered the gem.
Yeah, if you're Tongfu, you're like that should not have happened, but we're gonna take it. And with that,
that really should not have happened. Now he can't use the wolves to spy on the enemy team anymore with the gem.
And Mo actually ends up getting a little bit of random farm since the wolves are following him there. The remnants just clean them up, so Mo's gonna be pretty grateful for that. Titan gonna send 2 of their cores towards bottom lane. They lost the tier 2 tower on top. There's only outer towers left for Tongfu right now, but they're probably not gonna last too long here.
Bottom, it's gonna be a huge fight.
Doom actually ends up... Okay, I thought the Doom was TPing, but he turns up anyway, gets the deny down on the tower.
He did TP and he TP shift blink.
Oh, TP
behind.
shift blink, yeah, okay. I was a little bit confused, but anyway, so Tongfu are gonna leave Mu mid. Tier 2 is gonna end up being denied bottom, and now both teams are just vying for position on the map, really. There's 3 minutes left on this Aegis, so a minor advantage, actually a fairly big advantage in favor of Titan, as far as that's concerned, but Tongfu well, looks like they're not too scared. They're just gonna be heading straight outside of the base, and ZSMJ continues to tank up, purchases a Talisman of Evasion.
Yeah, Heaven's Halberd is very useful against all the right clickers, and usually Lycan and Dragonite doesn't go for Monkey Hingba.
Okay, so Tongfu would just like a pickup, and then to be able to head up onto the high ground. Glyph is just about to cool down for Titan.
Looking for the Lycan.
Miracle is hiding in the trees, bottom lane.
As usual?
As you know.
As usual.
He's very familiar with all of the tree lines on the map at this point.
Yeah, he actually is. He knows every single juking spot very well.
Sunshine finds a wolf, so he knows that something's going on here. He plays dumb for a little bit, though. Again, he's got the gem. Yeah, he's just gonna kill this wolf off for a little bit of gold. Miracle, maybe in some trouble. The rest of the team are down here. Titan, 4-man smoke from them. The line is drawn. They're moving down into Radiant territory, and Tongfu are actually a little bit split up right now. Oh, and Sunshine, this might be another round of the gem. No, okay, so he's heading back. There's nothing for them to hang around here for.
This is actually a very bad spot for them to fight. If any fight breaks out right now, it's going to be very, very bad for Tongfu.
Yeah, and looks like Tongfu suspect that something weird is happening. Lanes weren't being pressured by other heroes. It's actually a smoke right behind Miracle, but this is really aggressive for the Lycan with no information. So I think Tongfu suspect what's going on.
They're gonna just group up to avoid anything bad happening. Stormsby is gonna finish his hex in 1 or 2 more minutes. He just needs the Void Stone right now. Maybe is there any chance he'll go for Lincoln's? Maybe not. I think it's just a hex.
I mean, it will block either the lift or the Dragon Tail, so I think it's very valuable, but Hex is even more so.
It's still valuable, the Lincolns, but Hex is just the strong item late game. The item you go for.
Yeah, if you don't know what to buy and you're a support, you buy a Force Staff. If you don't know what to buy and you're a farmer, you buy a Hex. That's the way it feels.
You can never go wrong with the Side of Wise late game. It's going to be useful regardless.
Yeah, well, disabling the opponent completely, it turns out to be a pretty good thing. But okay, what are Titan up to? Still ratting. Miracle is down bottom lane. He's got one kind of split pushy ward set up to try and keep him safe. Titan moving more heroes in top lane as well, so they've got a good spot on 2 lanes at the moment.
They want to force a fight at top so that the Lycan can do his thing at bottom.
Yeah, and Tongfu have to keep one eye open, well, one eye on the minimap in terms of what's going on. Miracle again retreats further into the trees, and Tongfu suspect what's going on. They don't want to let Titan engage on them and lose the lane of rack spot, and Miracle could take it.
Them out. Yeah, the Wolf's gonna scout them out as well, so he knows exactly the positioning of the Tongfu heroes. This is going into the tempo of the Miracle game.
Oh, and they're gonna get a Force Staff lift onto Zhou, back into the Dragon Tail. Centaur comes in. Why not? One more right click from Net.
Finally,
gonna bring him down.
Finally someone cracks under the pressure of the speed push, and the captain is gonna die for the first time in this game, the partner.
Zhou just slightly out of position, maybe dictating some plays while that was going on.
Yeah, he was telling his team, guys,
be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, the Doom's gonna go down to ky.xy. They're throwing everything that they have at him, but this is the sign for Miracle to go. Jump in for ZSMJ, gets the stomp onto 3. Shiva's keeping everybody in position as well. Ohio just losing health to the ward non-stop. Net gonna try and TP home. Won't be so lucky.
Lycan needs more time. Lycan needs more time.
Miracle, he was too far out.
He was just at... He failed to capitalize on that.
He's still gonna head up onto the high ground. Gonna start running around in circles. Still wants to get some damage onto this tier 3, but there's a glyph ready for him. The Necrobook's gonna fade. Miracle is just being very cheeky. He knows that he can BKB. Yeah.
BKB TP, there's no dooms. That's why he's doing this.
He's just being as annoying as he possibly can. Gonna pop the BKB, uses the first couple of seconds, gets some more right clicks, now pops the TP scroll, and away he'll go.
Yeah, he was just making sure that he gets every bit of, like, he doesn't want to settle with nothing, no damage done. I think it was a really good play there from Miracle. That was a, wow, how did they, Storm.
Okay, so Moo used his entire mana pool, rolled all the way down mid lane, and just exploded the Enchantress.
Yeah, free kill. You take everything you can get right now. Every bit of kill. They need to be very careful. The next time that situation happens again, it will most likely be Rex because the tower is so low now.
Yeah, they can't afford too many more situations like that. Titan didn't really get too much out of the last Aegis, but we're looking at slightly less than 3 minutes as the spawn time this time around. And that is, I guess, space that Tongfu are going to be happy with. They're on the Radiant side. It's difficult for them to make plays over to the Roshan pit, so while they don't know it, they do have some time here. But they're still going to be scouting non-stop.
Kabu's going to be scouting around, but he's actually the one that's being outnumbered here. There's 3 Titan heroes behind the Timbersaw.
Yeah, Moo is providing him with a little bit of backup. They're going to see a TP going bottom lane, so they know that Ohio is left. And maybe consider going on Miracle. Again, information is so crucial right now. Radiant, not too much info in terms of who's where, aside from that TP bot. And for the Dire, well, there's 2 heroes that turned up mid. The Wolves are going to end up scouting out 2 more on top. So some good intel for Titan.
Yeah, Titan constantly have the information to their advantage with the Lycan Wolves scouting the map. But on the other hand, I feel at this point of time, the Storm Spirit needs to have more vision so that he can just try to get a pickup. And the wards just got destroyed by the Enchantress with the gem. So that's gonna be denying a lot of intel on where the whereabouts of Titan. if they are able to see like one hero like the Lycan at bottom farming the Ancients, they're gonna be able to take a fight at top. So without the ward there, it's gonna be less openings for the Nyx and the Storm to be able to start a fight.
Yeah, and Tongfu would really love a important pick-off and then, you know, being able to hammer down a lane. They don't want to risk a 4v5 with Miracle split pushing off somewhere.
Storm pick off and you just try to make use of it. The best thing they can hope for is they pick off the rat himself.
Yeah, looks like one of these familiars is going to end up falling. The other one's going to continue scouting here. Miracle, another 4k gold up for him. So if he wants to start working on that AC, he definitely could. I guess the other thing, if you think you're going to have to take a fight, you could work in towards an Abyssal Blade to really deal with the Storm Spirit, but it doesn't seem like Miracle's style.
He just wants to kill the base at the moment, so I think it's gonna be an assault if the Dragonite doesn't build one.
Oh, Dragonite a little bit outside. He is going to be Force Staffed further in. The second Force Staff gets him up onto the high ground. Force Staff as an item, man.
Yeah, I told you, you can't go wrong with a support. If you don't know what to buy, you get a Force Staff.
Yeah. Save your carries from hexes. So Miracle, he actually popped the Shapeshift bottom lane. I think it was a bit of a misclick. He just kind of ran around in circles. But
no, he actually just popped it so that his summons get more more attack speed and movement speed, so they are able to push faster, and he doesn't have to be there as a hero. Since the cooldown is just like 40 seconds now, yeah, he can abuse it whenever he wants.
Okay, so Tongfu are going to be forced back to deal with this. Titan actually moving in for Hero Smoke's going to see if they can catch anyone, take this fight, and maybe take 2 lanes of Rax as a result. Another ward going to go down. Joe sticking around with his team. Everybody's here. And it's actually going to be a smoke. Kabu walks forward. How much of this is spotted? There's going to be a lift up. The Lycan's going to come in from the sidelines. Pops up his BKB. Forces 4 heroes on Tongfu to focus onto him. ky.xy managed to get his ultimate down, but ZSMJ was isolated. Looks like he might be finished off. Miracle keeps on chasing, but no. Decides better of it. The only hero to fall is Kabu, who got lifted up right at the very start. But what can Titan do here? Roshan's actually respawned, so looks like that's going to be the target.
The Lycan is actually, if you look at that fight, the Lycan is actually able to do a lot in the fights already. They can actually still win the fight head on against the Tongfu lineup if they want to now. They already reached a point where the Lycan is very powerful at the moment.
Yeah, Shapeshift coming back up, 35 seconds until the BKB for both ky.xy and for Miracle. Silence goes out, the drain, but ky.xy hides inside the fog. Aegis is going to be picked up, moved, looking for some vision. Joe keeps on draining with his Aghanim Scepter, but he was not in the right position, gets Dragon-tailed, gets lifted. The rest of his team seemed to be in agreement that they were backing off.
Yeah,
Joe hangs around a bit too
long. It seems like he was the only one who wanted to be fighting, and everyone was like, oh, we can't do this, they just got the Aegis.
Yeah, they just got the Aegis. We didn't have our Nyx Assassin there just yet, I believe, and yeah, it's gonna be a not too costly mistake, I guess, from Joe.
Storm could be caught out here. The Rubik has Vendetta.
On net, he's on the hunt, but looks like the rest of his team are actually gonna get to move first. He's gonna keep on pushing down the lane, feeling pretty safe. There is gonna be an AC finished up for Miracle. He's actually carrying the cheese right now. And Moo's going to keep on trying to split push if he can, or just delay the wave until the Pugna can respawn. He's actually buying a lot of time.
They maybe know that the Storm is still around. But is he going to spot that TP? No, he's not going to spot that TP.
Okay, so they're continuing to hound Moo. They keep seeing these remnants and like, where is this guy? He is going to spot the supports and just roll over into the trees. But with that, he did what he had to do. He got the Pugna respawn. And Titan actually didn't get anywhere in that 50-second window.
Yeah, and the Pugna didn't have to spend. He actually had buyback, so if Titan were able to force something, Pugna has to buy back, and that would have been a really good pick-off. Good win from Titan to force a buyback in a late game like this.
Yeah, they didn't even get the tier 2 top. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be a game that's gonna be up to positioning, and I have a feeling it's gonna go for quite some time.
Yeah, the game could fall apart either way with a single pickoff. Oh, Miracle, he could be that pickoff. Kabu, however, gets spotted up by the Necrobook, and no, never mind. He's just
the red lot knows the exterminator is coming. That's the bodyguards being summoned.
He has no vision on the map at all. aside from creeps, but he's like, wait, I'm mid, my team's not here, I don't know where they are. Okay, I'm gonna run.
And there's a missing bug,
Yeah.
so you just summon your books.
Yeah, you summon your own exterminators, but Titan actually grouped up for once. 5 heroes on the top lane. They're not afraid of the Tongfu split push, and looks like they're not going to be split pushing themselves. Maybe they'll just grab this tier 2 and back off. We'll have to see, but for right now, Titan actually grouped up as 5.
They're actually sending the Timbersaw back.
They send the Timber back, and everybody else is actually going to back off. Titan playing very conservatively. Yeah, more TPs going back. Titan not going to go for this push.
That was a bit surprising, because like the Storm can't really push the tower so quickly. They could have just taken... Maybe they weren't confident to take a fight. But they had Aegis though, so they could have just taken a fight.
I don't think they can afford to let Tongfu just wait out their Aegis here. Kabu spots Miracle, wondering who else is in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, the rest of his team is a little bit further back. They had to deal with the creep wave, otherwise this would have been really suspicious. Suddenly running over into the jungle, but Miracle still gets back to a safe position, and Kabu again denied that kill.
But he's still giving his team, like you said, information is just so key right now. Any intel they can get, the positioning of which hero on the map, on top or on bottom, knowing where the precise locations of the enemy heroes are just so valuable at this point of the game.
Yeah, this is all down to like one pickoff with no buyback, or even being the first team to get a pickoff. You're one step ahead in the trades, in terms of towers, in terms of buybacks, in terms of glyphs, and having that advantage can be a really big deal. Moon still just sitting on the sidelines. Zips a long way down, just past ky.xy, but looks like he's going to be fine. This continues to be a nuisance, and meanwhile, Zhou actually going to take it as time to push up on top lane. So again, both teams just vying for position, and this works for Tongfu. They don't want to fight into the edges.
Yeah, it's coming into the point where the Storm, the Nyx, is just creating so much pressure, and the mobility of those heroes are coming into the play to the game. So giving Tongfu the much needed map control right now, having the mobility on the Storm, the Nyx, and not to mention the pressure of the Doom in the map. You can't just get caught out by the Doom, you're just going to be dead. So those couple of factors, you add them together, it means that Titan has to group up to be safe.
Yeah, I feel that maybe they could have not sent the Timbersaw back for bottom lane and gone in for that tier 2, but that could have started maybe an unfavorable chain reaction if the fight goes badly. So it looks like Titan are being
top lane
pretty safe.
Top lane. Oh, he's gonna TP out.
Just gonna be fine.
He's just gonna be barely escaping. And bottom lane, it means the Timbersaw is alone, and Storm is waiting.
Yeah, Mu is waiting for Ohio just to step that little bit outside of the base. Ohio's probably going to be quite patient, just wait for his creep wave to die, and then go out and grab the farm. And Miracle pressure on the top side as well. This is just lane position being traded back and forth, but again, I think this benefits Tongfu because they're the ones waiting out the Aegis duration.
Yeah, and not to mention, it has reached a point of time where you might consider having your Doom getting damage items already instead of just all the utility items. He's like keeping up with the net worth of the Lycan, but they need more damage.
Oh, the Doom goes out. They've spotted Miracle. Kabu finally gets him. The Doom goes out. The Force Staff gets Miracle up onto the high ground. The familiar stuns go out as well. That's what's he stolen. It is going to end up being the Carapace at SMJ. This BKB is going to wear out fairly soon. They do manage to finish off the Lycan a little bit further back. Mu with the roll in. He's going to keep on going. ky.xy gets hexed up. He's been silenced. They're still hanging on to the Vortex. Another Hex comes in. Down he'll go.
That was a very classic example of just the mobility of the Nyx and the Storm coming into play. Titan were just not in a good spot and they got engaged upon first. Now, are they going to...
They don't have buyback on the Dragon Knight.
They have
to spend the buyback on the Lycan, but can they even hold? They've got Glyph.
They have to. If they don't use the buyback, it's just...
Yeah, they have to, of course. Boots of Travel's going to be picked up by Miracle if they win this fight. He wants to go and get a lane of Rax, if at all possible.
Is there anything outside that he can TP?
I don't think there's anything to TP to right now. The ward goes down. Melee barracks dropping quickly. Net's going to be hexed up as he walks in. Miracle charging into the front lines. Uses his BKB. Going to be focusing on the Pugna. He's still pretty tanky, but one more right click brings him down. Moo with the zip in. Not going to care about the Carapace stun from the Rubik. He does have his BKB up. Ohio also using his BKB, but he's got nothing left in the tank. Aside from another Timber Chain, Sunchain going to try and juke away. But another Impetus is going to bring him down. And as you say, the gem is going to be lost. Kabu pops the Vendetta, escapes, but crucially, Titan don't lose their racks.
They lost the tower though, and they have to spend. They spend a buyback on the Lycan and a buyback on the Rubik. I think one of the other heroes buyback.
Yeah,
is it the Rubik?
buyback on the Rubik.
Yeah, it was Rubik and Lycan. So they got the Pugna. They got 2 kills for 2 buybacks, and they lost the tier 3 tower. I wouldn't say that was a victory for them, but at least their racks didn't went down.
Yeah, it would be a lot more even had they been able to hammer out a wave and maybe get the buybacks in return out of the Radiant side. Oh, Miracle. Moo's going to come in, very patient, getting every second of this debuff duration, and then ZSMJ with the blink. Drops another Doom. Net, what did he manage to get his hands on? He steals the Doom.
Wow, this is big. This is big.
Oh, but ZSMJ going to try and chase him down. Net with the Force Staff. ZSMJ is going to give up the chase, and I guess they do realize that the Doom was stolen, so they can play around it, but it's still a big deal.
Lycan is dead. What good is that for them right now? Maybe... Oh, it's not gonna do anything. They don't have the ability to defend these racks.
Miracle's rat senses were not sharp enough there. Okay, so this should be at least the 1 lane of racks for Tongfu. The goal for Titan...
I don't know about that though. If they can just take a fight and charge through the throne, they might... No, maybe not. 50 seconds on the Lycan. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, they're probably just going to go for 2 lanes of racks here. Titan can't afford to really lose anybody. Net jumps in. He's going to throw the Doom onto Moo, but the fight continues. Moo still surviving. The Nether Ward going to work. Ohio going to try and walk in with his BKB. Looks like Moo is going to end up falling, but 2 more heroes die. ZSMJ still on full HP. ky.xy trying to fight. Buyback from the Enchantress. Titan desperately trying to hold on to this racks. Another buyback, this time around from the Timbersaw. They're throwing everything that they have into this fight. Ohio TP's in on the backside, but the melee barracks goes down. And Titan seemingly unable to re-engage. Ohio's just going to walk in, gets hit by the Carapace stun. They bring down the Dragon Knight. They're going to keep on fighting despite the racks already having fallen. Ohio's going to go down. Extinct just getting drained out.
This is just... I thought they would have just given up the racks. They can't fight against that without the Lycan. They just can't. They spent 3 buybacks and they still lost the racks, and they're gonna lose more.
I mean, the best case... Oh, okay, Miracle's gonna BOT to bottom lane. They bought enough time for this to happen, though. Tongfu not gonna be caught out. They've got TP scrolls ready. Miracle focusing here is Zhou. He's got his Aghanim Scepter. Gonna start off the drain. Looks like they are gonna end up losing the melee barracks. Miracle doesn't manage to pop his BKB. He's still got it up. Holding on to it even longer. He gets hexed. He's still alive. He's still got the haste. And looks like he will be able to get out. He pops the cheese. Plenty of patience for Miracle. Just barely gets away. Net, meanwhile, walks over into his own jungle. Is going to be brought down.
He tried to kill the Visage that was trying to get away and TP, so he didn't know that there was a Doom nearby as well. Miracle is going to be running and running. Where is the Storm? Is still 5 seconds, so I don't think they can catch him out here.
Okay, and with that, Miracle actually evens up the racks trade.
Yeah, that was a very huge play there.
So
Red Lot.
Yeah, I thought the best case scenario was going to be give away 1 lane of racks and just try not to lose too many people. Like maybe you lose 2 heroes and that's it. But it actually ends up being a bit of a trade.
The moment they tried to get more like the top side, then Miracle TPs towards bottom and they were forced to send some heroes back. And that was the time where everything was like chaotic and they lost the racks doing that.
Okay, so Titan's still in with a chance. This tier 2 top lane is actually going to end up being, well, maybe pretty important for Tongfu.
It is very important for Tongfu right now. It means that they still have like a couple, I would say this will buy them at least 1 more minute, 30 seconds to 1 more minute. And Roshan is going to be the target of choice here for Titan. Where is the Storm?
It's going to be Aegis and Cheese, Moo, Luke's around. There is going to be a Refresher Orb purchased up for ZSMJ as well. He's got a double damage walking towards this fight. And I guess we just go back to both teams vying for position on lanes at this point.
Wow. Refresher up on the Doom. You are doomed, number 1. You are doomed again, number 2.
And he's got the mana to use it as well, for sure. So, shouldn't be too much of a problem. I guess that's twice as many chances for Net maybe to steal one. We'll see if he can make some plays.
That's actually true.
Yeah. I mean, normally with the Doom, you're like, okay, I've used my Doom, I'm gonna use Scorched Earth and cover it straight away, and there's no way for the Rubik to get it, but could be a little bit more difficult this time.
Not if you Doom him first.
Not if you... Do you want to Doom the Rubik? He's got like 900 hit points.
You want to Doom like the Timber Saw and
the Dragon Knight.
Or the Lycan. Unless the Lycan already pop his ultimate, then you just result into the Dooming the Timber Saw and the Dragon Knight.
Okay, so back to lane pressure we go. Miracle also realizing how important this tier 2 is top lane. He's gonna try and deal with it. Tongfu forced to deal with bottom lane since it's been raxed. Sansheng handling that for the time being. And Tongfu actually pushing out the lane that they've already raxed. More pressure applied mid, but fortunately for them, they've got the shorter lane raxed. So the pressure that they're applying, despite it seeming like it's 1-for-1 in terms of rax, the mid rax is just that little bit more valuable because it's 2 waves basically until it gets back in the opposite direction. Well, you know, call it 3 waves for bot lane or top lane to push all the way through.
Yeah, they were just lucky to have that, to be able to come up with that trade-off, and now they're gonna be the ones in the driving seats with the Aegis and the Cheese on their side. So this would be actually a lot of pressure for Tongfu. They cannot afford to make any mistakes here. They just need to buy time for the Aegis to expire. There's still quite some time they need to buy, about 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's ages, but
4 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so they've got 3 buybacks for Tongfu. So that's worth keeping in mind. Titan still playing this fairly conservatively. We've got some wolves doing a little bit of scouting. Tongfu still just kind of staying grouped up. Aside from Kabu, who's going to continue hunting out, trying to find some pickoffs. I think we've still got a gem on both sides. Yes, actually 2 gems for Tongfu. So vision is pretty much non-existent. A couple of odd wards here and there, and the wolves are going to keep on patrolling, but that's about it. Also, the next assassin.
The wolves will be the most important scouts of the game right now for Titan.
And Miracle, he's got 4.5k gold, but he doesn't really have space to pick up anything right now.
Maybe just pass the cheese to someone else and get another item. Not so soon. Maybe maybe if he gets
save
another
buyback.
2k.
Yes,
yeah,
save
for
buyback
first.
What do you like? Abyssal Heart?
Heart or Abyssal Blade would be the best choice.
Yeah. Okay, so Tongfu, they get out of their base a little bit.
Do you think he just YOLOs and gets a divine?
No, this isn't the game for divine. Well, we'll see. Depends on how bad Miracle wants to win this for you, Winter. We'll see. Moo zips up. Ohio, right on the front lines, NSMJ just runs in, he's gonna blink over the top, but he still gets lifted by Net. They bring him back into a Dragon Tail, but he's just way too tanky. They're doing their best to bring him down. Extinct gets all the life sucked out of him by Zhou. It's 2 down already for Titan. The supports are dead. Nice stuns going out. ky.xy and the Timbersaw both end up falling. Miracle is doomed and running straight down the lane to see what he can find, but ends up being a huge fight in favor of Tongfu. Dragon Knight comes back after the Aegis, but only to fall again.
Look at Miracle. What? He's
just like, making space.
Another Doom.
He eats another Doom.
Another Doom. Oh boy. I said you are Doom number 1 target, you are Doom number 2 target, but this is you are Doom, Miracle, you are Doom again, Miracle. And he buys back.
Miracle buys back, gonna keep on trying to buy time, but Tongfu, they're up top, they're bringing down this lane of Rax. As SMJ does have Boots of Travel, but they're on cooldown for now, so he's going to be the one dedicated to handling bottom lane. Moo keeps on running up. This guy's super rich, 25k gold, as he walks his way back over towards the Dire base. Do we have any Dire buybacks ready? Not a one.
No.
No.
Bloodstone is going to be like the final... Oh, Miracle actually Boots of Travel down towards bottom.
Okay, well we'll see. Miracle has won games like this in the past. Heaven's Halberd's going to be used. He's looking for the tier 4s. Tongfu, what are they going to do? Moo's going to roll all the way back in. Centaur Stomp comes out. Perfect coordination on the disable. And that's GG.
This is GG. Oh well, this is...
And with that, that's going to be the end of Titan's run in this competition, unfortunately. Not a single win for them.
Elvin gets the taste of the doom again once more.
Poor Alvin, man. But anyway, so that's going to wrap it up for our series today, guys. Just the 2 games for this best of 3. Congratulations, of course, to Tongfu. They have secured themselves at least that 3rd place spot, and with that, they have secured themselves at least a 1.7k chunk of the around 23k overall prize pool. So, Winter, any closing thoughts on the game?
Just one. 54 minutes, and guess what? 8-0-13 ZSMJ.
Very well played. Yeah.
He's the man of the match for me.
I think the man of the series as well. His Nature's Prophet game 1 did a lot, and game 2 did a lot on the...
This guy deserves his promotion in the ranks of the team. Position 3 now.
Winter, are you saying that position 3 is better than support? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
No, but it's a promotion in the sense where you get more gold.
You get more gold. We'll maybe concede that he's a little bit more important now. But
yeah, and both games he built Midas.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy to see, like, this game was a very good example that the Midas was really crucial towards him coming towards the top of the mountain of the net worth. Without the Midas, I don't think he could have done it in those times, because like he was just under no pressure and he was able to abuse the fact that he's just safe to get the Midas, and the Midas will definitely pay off for him.
Yeah, and with regards to ZSMJ, I think in the last couple of weeks we were seeing some people banning out a couple of his support heroes, and he was having a really good time on support, and trend continues now that he's moving over to offlane. So I guess, do you think this is a permanent change now, Winter, or maybe
I don't know.
We'll see.
Maybe it is.
We'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see tomorrow, I guess, as Tongfu take on IG. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. That's going to be it for today for the Redbull ECL. There's only one best of 3 per day for the remaining days of the competition. The schedule changed a little bit today so that we didn't have a Hearthstone game in between game 1 and game 2, but that did mean that the Dota game got bumped back a little bit. So we'll try and confirm what the new schedule is, if it's going to be different for tomorrow, and hopefully that can also be passed along to Gosu Gamers and Join Dota, and we'll get the tickers updated, just because the starting time on the ticker was 2.5 hours early or so. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Basekip here providing coverage on behalf of Beyond the Summit. If you'd like to leave me any feedback on the casting, you can email me at basekipdota@gmail.com. And I think that's about it, so I'll pass it over to Winter so we can do shoutouts and plugs and whatever, and we can head off.
Yeah, you guys can find me at facebook.com/winter.dota, and my Twitter would be twitter.com/winterdota.
And
thank you. Yeah. It's the Basekip.
It was a pleasure. And you stream from time to time as well, Winter, don't you? So that's twitch.tv/winter. Yep.
Yep.
I think that's right. Okay, awesome. So thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you tomorrow for IG versus Tongfu.